the show. Let's see what has been happening in the wrestling world. Welcome to the show, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts, always the best guests in Midwest. The Two Counts, wait time guaranteed because we're the best of the best. Meet Ace and JR, Top Shelf Tommy, we're about to start. Welcome to the Two Counts. It's time to dig deep into the wrestling world. Welcome to the Two Counts, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts.
The Two Count. The Two Count. Where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, like, and start a hype train for God's sakes. And now, here are the hosts of The Two Count. Comedian John Russell, wrestling broadcaster Big Ace, and everybody's favorite heel, Top Shelf Tommy.
My gosh, what a day for you to be tuning in to the Two Count. We just have him right on here with us. Nur-D is with us again. We have so much fun.
Hey, we are back.
Absolutely. We got a fantastic show. The whole 2 hours tonight. So Nur-D's going to be with us the entire show. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff with him, including SummerSlam, which,
yes,
I don't know about you guys, I was super excited by that show. Initially, my gosh, it started off great, and we'll talk about that. And then in the second hour, Luke Raven from Madhouse Wrestling is going to join us, and we're going to talk about Madhouse 2, which is going to be absolutely insane from what I'm told. I didn't get to go to the first show that Tom and Ace went to down in Knoxville, Iowa, but I'm going with Ace this Saturday because Ace is the official ring announcer for Madhouse Wrestling.
That's right. I'm the voice. I'm the voice of something. That's freaking weird.
Speaking of voice, how is yours? You feeling better?
Yeah. I'm exhausted, but today's like my first day that I feel actually almost 100%. Yeah. So I'm sorry that I missed a show last week, and I know you guys told everybody I was sick last week. Literally, we came home from Iowa, and I guess I was one of the few people who actually came home with COVID. So,
oh wow.
That's been my last week and a half, and it's been
Tom and
awful.
I never got it. Because
That's
you know
right.
what? I mean, I don't want to be on the same side as him, but he and I are both way stronger than you are.
That's true.
That's the reason.
Mentally, emotionally stronger than Ace.
We only made out a little bit, and you still came out clean, guys. Good for you, boys.
Always.
So I know since the last time you were on the show with us, Nur-D, you had a show down in Rochester.
Sure did.
And Ace got to go to that and see that.
Man.
But, you got huge news. I was
trying to load one of the videos I took that night, but I'm having issues getting stuff on my computer from my phone. But damn, and I told you when I saw you that night after the show, man, you killed it.
Thank you very much.
And I hadn't seen you with the band before. That was first time with the band. I've only seen you with Hayes before, so that was a
show.
Treat. That was a treat.
It was a blast.
I'm so mad that the weather scared a good chunk of people off that night because it was pretty touchy on if it was going to storm or not before you got on stage.
We thought it was gonna a few times. We were like, oh, snap, here we go. But it worked out. The wind held off, the rain held off, and we really got to, go full on, which was great.
Yeah,
it looked like as I say, you got a fan in Indiana there in HCW Sports.
Hey, thank you very much, HCW. Oh,
by the way, HCW, talk with your people and book him for one of your shows down there. He'll come down and play it.
Oh,
heck yeah! If you had some music for your wrestling.
Yeah, there's, you never know where I might show up as far as music and wrestling and industries therein. Who knows who might be working with whom in the future?
That's very ominous, Nur-D. I mean,
it is very ominous. There's certain things that I'm not allowed. I'm not at liberty to say. All I'm saying.
Here we go.
I'm not at liberty to say. All I'm saying is that particular organizations might be hitting up your boy.
Mhm.
Oh,
Nice.
I mean,
Mhm.
you are for sure a local big deal here in the Twin Cities. So,
Thank
and
you
I
very
know
much.
with your touring schedule and stuff like that, I mean, this last summer you've gone to Colorado and obviously
Yeah.
Rochester, which is probably a step down.
Iowa.
For sure.
We're going to Gen Con tomorrow. I'll be
Oh,
there
heck yeah.
for I'll be there for Gen Con. So for 2 days at Gen Con, we're performing the world's biggest board gaming convention. Shout out to Super Cards, by the way. My favorite pro wrestling card game is going to be there.
yeah.
I found out about them last year at Gen Con. And me and DJ Hayes, we spent way much more money than we expected on these cards. I'm bringing my decks back to Gen Con. I'm coming for that title. So if you're playing Super Cards over in Gen Con, just know your boy is coming for the title.
What was the card game guys at the Hall of Fame in Iowa the other week?
Oh, it was.
I have their card in my wallet in another room.
You're helpful.
Doesn't help, guys. Sorry.
It was.
yeah.
It was.
Was it the same?
Windsor Games
You got a
or something
card?
like that?
You got a card that we could see in front around you?
It was not Super Cards because I'm trying to look. I'm
Okay.
looking at
It
that
was
right
like,
now.
like Linsner Games or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so not the same thing. That would have been hilarious if it was. Real quick, everybody, I'm going to share my screen here because I think we can actually play this, right? Because it's like a live performance. Just because we've not been able ever to play any
full screen
of your
that too.
music.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! Look at that. That was during the lockdown. We did this with Paisley Park. So we were the first and only live stream show for Paisley Park throughout all of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was
That's pretty damn
that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Can you guys hear it? I don't even...
No. Your system is complete
My-
garbage, Ace,
Well,
and
it was kind of low.
Oh my goodness, my hair was amazing.
Dude, you're not wrong. So again, I wanted to play some of this because
so good.
we haven't had a chance to
Golly.
play any Nur-D music on here.
See the Nerdy Club shirt in the back? Hey, shout out to DJ Hayes.
You know,
DJ
by the way,
Hayes.
I gotta say this, Nur-D. So Ace was wearing his Nur-D or Nur-D shirt down at the Hall of Fame weekend in Waterloo,
Yeah.
and one young lady, he was repping for sure. One young lady was like, "Hey, nice shirt." And
Oh,
I'm
at the
like,
hotel,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you know Nur-D?" And she's like, "No, I just like the shirt." I was like, "Oh, you gotta check Nur-D out. He's one of the best hip-hop artists in Minneapolis." I go, "It's gonna be worth your time." And then she gives me this weird look and just kept walking. I'm like, So there you go. I'm promoting as much as I can, word of mouth
Thank
style.
you very much. That's how you do it. That's how we
Well,
get the word out there.
Here's the thing, right? So Ace plays the video here, and I'm starting to dance just listen to the song, man, because I can't help it. Your songs are infectious, and I want to be a dick to you because that's kind of my role around here, and I can't. I never can be a dick to you when you're on a show. I don't know why.
I appreciate it. I think it's because we're both heels at heart, and you know that we're going to agree on most things.
It is true.
This
That's
is
a
like
fair point.
This is the what's the word I'm looking for? This is when Edge and Randy Orton came together. Like you would think they would both
Rated RKO.
fight each other, but no, it worked out really well.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very fair point.
Oh, here it is.
Man.
Oh, it's so good. So you said this, 2 years ago, right?
Yep, 2 years ago.
Hey,
So the new album that's about to come out, that's behind you, that fancy background right there, is this going to be the newest album since about this time?
No, we did 38th in Chicago since that, during the uprising here in Minneapolis. And so those two tracks, or those two projects were the newest ones.
Which, by the way, Lady J is so freaking brilliant, bro.
Thank you.
I mean, like, I've told a couple people who've been in the car at me, and I'm like, you guys realize what he's actually talking about? Like, It's so clever. So clever.
Thank you very
That is such
much.
a. Check it out if you haven't heard it.
Please do. Seriously, you can find all my music on all the streaming services, Nur-D, Nur-D, just like you see here. It's great. Shout out to Bobby Roode, by the way. Bring back Bobby Roode, please.
No kidding.
I mean, guys, let's start getting into it. Let's chop it up. I mean,
Yes, let's chop it up. A lot of wrestling happened in the last, 72 hours.
Oh, so much.
Oh, before we do that, though, I do have to say one more thing.
Ooh.
And I just want to ask you this. This is the last question I will ask about your music, my friend.
Hit me.
And it's because I discovered this song recently.
The last?
Oh, no, I'm sure I'll annoy him again somewhere.
No more talking.
Never speak to Nur-D again after the show. Me and JR.
Next week at AEW, it's going to be like, you can't say one thing about any music.
Not anything, because you told me you were not going to ask anything.
The epilogue?
Yes.
Have you guys heard this, Tom, JR? Nur-D has a song that's basically what happens after the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh, wow.
And it is just amazing.
That's one of my favorite country tunes is Devil Went Down to Georgia. And I tell people in the show, it's like, since a young age, I've been fascinated with that song. Like, I don't know why. It's great. First of all, it's great classic storytelling. Someone if you want to get like some real awesome classic country music, that's like one of the pinnacles for me. It's one of the foundations of my country acumen. But the story ends, and I've always been like, yo, what happens next? So many myth, like Americana myth, has been built on the crossroads and like the duel with the devil and all of that. And so I wrote a song called Epilogue that for me, it was like my version of what happens to Johnny after he leaves that duel and goes back home, like to the rest of the people. And so, yeah, it was a fun little thing to do. It's very not. It was very like when I showed my band, I was like, so I wrote this song. it's a sequel to a country song. We're just gonna do it, and you just have to believe me that it's gonna work out. and it's great. It's one of our favorite ones to do.
It's, I mean, you guys, and I'm gonna bridge this into wrestling. You're gonna like it. Watch, because when you listen to this song, you guys, and I'm trying to find it if we could find it on YouTube, real quick, just so you guys can get a taste of this thing because it's just so fire.
You probably should just ask for the link to the damn song, you asshole. I mean,
yeah,
I'm just gonna throw it out there, Ace. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Okay, again, can you hear this? Hopefully this doesn't. We'll talk while we're playing this because we don't want to get hit since this is actually the recorded version on YouTube. But it's hard not to move when it's on. It's a vibe. But the story is brilliantly written, guys. The creative mind of Nur-D. I mean, so there's a taste, guys, because again, we don't want to get flagged for that one.
I see that's the thing. I remember now because I literally went through that whole album. I think after we had you on and before the second time, and I was going through everything because one, seeing you at First Ave during the first wrestling show was incredible.
Thank you.
And so that's why I was like, all right, I at least got to listen to this guy. And then we had you on the first time. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't listen to him nearly enough. And then I went back and listened to everything. I was like, oh shit, there we go. Okay. And then, for the first Absolute show, when we were going down to Waterloo, Ace and I and his nephews, we were jamming like crazy to Nur-D. And
that's so kind of you.
It's kind of all I've been playing for a while now because I get stuck on stuff and I'm old, so I don't move off.
Well,
it for
you're gonna
time.
have some more to play come August 19th because we have the brand new album Heaven that's dropping on that day. First Avenue, all of you Minnesota fans, First Avenue main room, August 19th. You can still grab your ticket, so it's super cool.
I'm coming.
Yeah, no, it will be the second coolest thing to happen outside of SummerSlam. That's my brash.
All right.
segue.
Heck yeah.
But
That's,
again,
that's the endorsement right there.
so the gist of the song for that though is like what he basically goes to town, tells everyone what happened. The devil went down to Jordy. He beat him with the song, won the fiddle, all this stuff, and they're basically going to hang him because he's crazy. Is the story? And but the thing is, you wouldn't fold, you won't break. This is what happened. I don't lie. It's amazing when you listen to this song because it's a great. I'm picturing it in like a movie in my head when I listen to it. Like I can see the music video for this, and you were playing this whole thing out, and it makes me wonder because we know how much you love pro wrestling.
I love
with such a creative mind, also a big D&D player. Which I mean, if you can't be creative, you're not going to be good at D&D. So,
a big part of it.
Yeah. So, have you ever played with the idea of trying to write creative for some sort of wrestling promotion somewhere?
So here's the concept with wrestling, right? It is there are two industries in this world that are very, very like hard to jump into from just like an outside perspective. Stand-up comedy and professional wrestling. Like there is nothing like it. You can't like the grouping, the way people go, like how you get into it. It's really hard. And so while I have toyed with the concept of writing creative for some sort of wrestling promotion, I know that if I was going to do that, I would have to invest a lot more energy into it than like I would have the capability to right now. And therefore I'm gonna let that be a dream for now. That being said, if you look at my WWE 2K creator wrestlers and my WWE universe, there has been a healthy clip of lore over the last 7 games that I would be more than happy to translate to anyone's wrestling promotion should they ask me. I'm big into it. I've realized that I'm at the age of my life that the chances of me getting in the ring are slim. But the chances of me, I don't know if you've watched Wrestling Isn't Wrestling or Wrestling Isn't, like I could be the guy who picks the guy. I'm not going to be the guy. I understand that. My time has passed, but I could be the guy who picks the guy. I could see myself as a Paul Heyman. If I could get that spot in wrestling, I would be secure because Paul Heyman is like we saw at SummerSlam. Paul Heyman is without equal. The man is fantastic every time he shows up, even with the little stuff that he does.
So my goal now is going to be to get someone to let you come in and have a Nur-D stable, and you're going to run it, but it's going to be heel. Just because I want to see. Because you have such a great fan base, you do. But let's be honest, there's going to be a chunk of that doesn't understand or know wrestling. We've talked about it on how many people are such big fans of yours, but have no idea they're singing like things that have to do with pro wrestling. And when you did 20 Cha in Rochester, I love that you were like, they don't know what we're talking about. You know, but it's. Yeah, I want that to happen because I just want to see your fan base's reaction when they watch you in the pro wrestling world healing out, and
My biggest dream one day is to just like, okay, you remember when Bad Bunny? This is going back a little bit, but remember when Bad Bunny was working with Damian Priest against Miz and John Morrison, and it was this huge thing. They were uber baby faces, you know. It was super crazy awesome, and I want to have a version of that. Where like I'm working with somebody, we're like this face is showing Nur-D the ropes, and isn't it fun? Hey kids, come out and see Nur-D. He's such a fun rapper. He love it, and do all this stuff. And then on whatever grand stage it is, I just turn around and hit him with a chair. Like I don't know who it is. I want a shield moment. I want a shield. I want Seth. I want a Jon Stewart hits John Cena with the chair moment. Like I've never been at like Jon Stewart because he was at every SummerSlam for like 17 years.
Yeah.
And I want a version of him running up, hitting the person with the chair, and then just being a heel, like for no real reason. So one of these days, I call it right now.
I like it.
If you see me jumping in a promotion and I'm really nice, just know that I've already talked to them.
Right. Oh man. We got to get you involved somehow. We're gonna we'll talk more to Luke when he comes on, but I'm already been pitching a Minnesota show next summer. So we'll have to put something together.
I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to it though. SummerSlam, people getting jobs back out of nowhere. Like, what a week times.
It's almost as if there's a massive shift in a multi-billion-dollar company that allows for different things to happen.
Malice is joining us, one of the other owners of Madhouse. Don't worry, Mouse. I'm rocking the hat because I lost the drinking competition because we didn't have it because of my ill behavior. So,
yeah,
it's
I hope
a long
you guys
story.
talked about that last week.
We did. We covered the fact that I failed miserably because Malice was on here in chat last week telling me that I was a loser, which is true. I lost the drinking competition because I didn't show up for it. So,
ooh, that's a tough one, dude.
Tommy
It
is
is.
tired.
You can't.
Tired for a sleep in his room.
He fell asleep.
Passed out
Listen.
making Sammys.
Listen, I
hope you literally fell asleep with like a half-eaten sandwich in your hand.
yes, I went through 1.5 sandwiches, and
know
then the
you
other. It wasn't in my hand, but it was on the plate because I'm.
Are these How I Met Your Mother sandwiches, or are they actual sandwiches?
I don't know what exactly that means as far as reference and stuff, but I mean these were ham and cheese and turkey sandwiches, man. Like these are grown man sandwiches. What I was going.
Shout
with,
out
so.
to everybody who knows the How I Met Your Mother reference. You've just won. You didn't know that this was a competition, but you just did.
Of course they did.
All right, SummerSlam, guys, and again, thanks for showing up, Malice. Hopefully it works all right. Just a bag of McChicken. No, true story. I had a friend wake up and there was a McChicken just sitting on our roll of toilet paper. It was insane.
That's exactly where a McChicken should be.
Right, Tina, how you doing? Thanks for the well wishes while I was sick, Tina. Thank you, Bryce. Well wishes to you, my friend.
Yeah, I got to say, I feel like I'd like to take credit for the attack by Justin Decent upon the Golden Boy.
You said you put in on that though.
I would have paid him. I'd have paid, but I wasn't smart enough to think of it, and which I'm sure that Bryce will attest to.
Well, because you had to get your payback.
Yeah. Do you want? I don't know. I just.
Yeah, let's play the video. Why not? Shanky Boy's here. Let's play the video. Nur-D, do you want to see? I don't know if you know about this. Bryce Jordan, Golden God, Iowa wrestler, friend of the show. Him and JR don't like each other and haven't. We actually talked about this 2 weeks ago. It's been going on, a year or two now? A year, almost a year of this rivalry.
I want to see this rivalry.
And the big thing is, Golden God said he's going to kick JR in his old man balls. This has been going on for a while. We all ended up at the same place at the same time.
Here we go.
He's at the bar. He's at the bar. Top shelf, baby. He's at the bar. There he is. Big green shirt. Big green shirt. Got him. Got him, Bryce. Come here, you little bitch. Yeah. God damn you.
Wow. Can I say so? Am I allowed to say? I'm going to say something. I wasn't sure. I'm going to say this. I had no idea that JR was like a mammoth person. He is so big.
So now,
huge. I was like, oh snap! This because you only see someone in a little box.
So now, right. So now think about this.
We'll play it again if you guys would just stop being douchey about this. Here's the thing.
We're not being douchey.
Yeah, you are too. So I've told Bryce Jordan this. I'm not done with this. If I would have been able to coordinate with Justin Decent to attack him, I would have. I had my own plan. And Nur-D, as big as you think I am, I have a son who's 6'7" and about 400 pounds,
Yeah.
and he's coming with me the next time. And whether Bryce Jordan is hurt or not, my son is going to kick the living shit out of him because he'll just break him like a little twig that he is. And then that's gonna, and then I don't know if it'll be the end of it or not, but I'm 60 years old. He kicked a 60-year-old man in the nuts in a public bar, and I didn't, out of respect for my love and respect for professional wrestling, I didn't press charges. I didn't call the police for assault.
And that's amazing. That's restraint, people. That's actual restraint.
If you watch the video again, though, you did rock him when you did the whole.
Oh yeah, he was scared of me.
Scared.
I'll play it again. I'll play it again. Here we go. Whoops, hold on.
I got more drinks because of it.
Fuck you and your drinks, Bryce.
Yeah, he did get more drinks of it. And I will say this.
Drinks.
Well, JR, now just remember, because of this action from Bryce, so thank you, Bryce, by the way, for this. We were the talk of the podcast collective that weekend down at Waterloo, is because the man on the panel got kicked in the balls the night before.
Yeah, nobody knew why.
No one knew why.
No,
now they have to all watch.
Live event of this prestigious Hall of Fame weekend, and the guy's like, "Hey, you got kicked in the balls last night. Why?"
Exactly.
Oh, we're the 2 count, everybody.
Because you're a goddamn asshole. How about that? That was I wanted to answer that, but I had too much respect for the people that came to see it.
Do not call Bryce an asshole, okay? Right. He's doing what you have caused him to do.
You just.
He's at the bar. He's at the bar. Top shelf, baby. He's at the bar. There he is. Big green shirt. Big green shirt. Got him. Got him, Bryce. Come here, you little bitch. Yeah. God damn you.
Shout out to Chad, the ring announcer from IPW, who had no freaking clue what was going on right in front of him. He's just like.
And Max Chill was right there, had no clue either. He's like, "What the fuck happened here?"
That's because they don't know that they should be watching this program.
Well,
I also want to point out. I also want to point out. Did you notice Top Shelf Tom trying to get himself over?
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't trying. It just was over.
I saw that, and I appreciate someone taking the time to maximize every moment. That's called entrepreneurship. I don't know I don't know what to say about that other than that.
This is what I'm talking about, man.
True.
I can't be mad or angry when Nur-D is on here because he's always on the top shelf side, baby. He understands. He's a top shelf entertainer himself, man.
I'm just saying.
He's booked at First Avenue. There's nothing more top shelf than that right there. Nur-D, the fucking win already, baby.
I am not officially affiliated with any particular shelf. But I will say I like the view from up there. That's all.
See, you get it. You get it. And that's the thing. When Ace first saw the handshake, because it wasn't Bryce who came up with it, it was
look at Shanky Boys bringing Nur-D in the group now.
That's right.
You just got in a faction.
We might. I think we do. No,
we were just talking about it, Nur-D, and now you're halfway there now.
Shit! Maybe we gotta get him down to Waterloo on the 27th. Prentice, hit me up, baby. No, literally, Shane comes up to me. He's like, "I got a handshake," and literally, it's basically just going down low, either quick, either low five or handshake, and then just top shelf, baby, and annoyed the piss out of Ace when he first saw it. Because I didn't come up with it. Shank did, and it was the most fucking, well, if you will, glorious fucking thing I've ever fucking been a part of. And then Bryce just is right there with it because, he's part of that top shelf life as well. So
it didn't annoy me. I just thought it was hilarious that in under 4 hours time, while I was sitting there getting everything ready, all of a sudden we're leaving. I'm like, you guys made up a handshake today? Like,
oh, no. That was the first thing we did when we got to Absolute. Was literally, as soon as I saw Shank and I saw Bryce, we were fucking doing that right away, baby. So,
okay.
So your hateful ass did not see it right away. Your hateful ass saw it 4 hours later.
I was zoned in on getting commentary set up.
So I just want to ask real quick because Bryce
boys
is
are
in
top
the chat.
shelf for sure.
Bryce, do you have any idea how long you're going to be on the shelf? His See what I did there?
Shut up! You can't laugh at your own fucking pathetic joke.
Suck
you
it off.
Nunce.
Suck it off, Chillstrom.
You fucking dunce.
That
What
was
a
good.
fucking
I
piece
liked
of
it.
shit.
Oh,
I
man.
liked it.
Seriously though, Bryce, do you know how long you're going to be
Out of
away?
commission. This way we avoid a stupid pun. Ass clown.
No, we don't. I already made it, so suck on it.
Well, he's waiting. Oh,
Lovely. This is lovely.
4 to 8 weeks. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Okay.
So outside possibility at absolute? What are we talking about here? No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around. I don't want to put too much pressure on the boys to come back when they're not ready because they are living that top shelf life. So take a vacation, boys.
there
We're
it is.
the absolute champions for
Pull up
God's
at the
sakes.
pool.
So back to what we were talking about before
yeah.
we started
Sorry.
watching videos of JR getting kicked in the balls.
Shut up.
SummerSlam?
Talking about
WWE as a whole.
Yeah.
So like, everything happened with Vince. The retirement out. We were in Waterloo when that happened.
That's
during
crazy.
the Hall of Fame weekend. You hear all the stuff that's going on. You see Triple H is back. All this craziness, and you're hearing all this stuff. And like every fan, I'm like, what was the talk we've always said as a WWE fan? Man, when that old man dies and Triple H takes over, guys.
Yeah.
Woo! Well, holy crap, that's a reality now. And I mean, I don't think we can
envy. I do not envy Triple H right now. I feel and here's the bit, because like I feel like every single person who has ever said that is now like, all right,
yeah,
go ahead and like Triple. It's. I feel like it's like when every time we get a new president. You know what I mean? Everybody who's been saying the last president was the problem the whole time is now like, all right, now give us all the stuff that you said you were going to give, or that we said that you said that you were going to give us.
Right. And he did. I seen him do an interview, and he said he's like, I've got enormous shoes to fill, and it's like, no shit, because no matter what you say about Vince and all the bullshit aside, none of us would be as big of wrestling fans as we were that we are if we didn't have the great attitude era and stuff after that, because it really was only WWE really then. They took everybody out once they killed WCW. So all eyes on Triple H and Stephanie. So let's see what they're going to do, right? We already had SummerSlam pretty lined up, pretty stacked. No one thought there was going to be a bunch of jumbling around, but as we get into SummerSlam, we get what was the first match? Because I'm already out of order.
Oh, the first match was Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I gotta say about that match, it was clear that Becky got injured right off the jump. Like,
did you see the picture?
Yeah, that's tough. Well, that was tough, and it's like that really hurt because there was a lot of spots there that you could tell that like she's like trying to muscle through it. That being said, I've always kind of been like, Becky Lynch is more of a character than she is a wrestler. And I got to eat some crow on that. Because, like, she muscled through that match, and it was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like, it was great.
It was. It was.
I just say, I loved it. I love the fact that Becky went back, because just for me, her being that heel, that obnoxious heel, it just doesn't work. It didn't work for me. I don't think it worked for a lot of people.
I don't think so either.
And then when Bayley came out, I popped like crazy.
Yeah. It was wild.
When Dakota came out and when Io came out, I was so freaking happy.
Go ahead.
No, you go. No,
I was gonna say,
for a minute.
You guys know, I've been a huge Dakota Kai mark for a long time, man. The kicks are just badass. When she turned on Tegan, oh my god, I went nuts. I was like, I love it. This is perfect. Turn on her. And yeah, man. When she came out, I was like, oh my god. And then that's where you're like, wait a minute. Wasn't she just let go? That like,
yeah, that's what I was like.
Wait, okay.
And Io was supposed to be going back to Japan when her contract was up, like this week.
I was really excited. I'm a little upset that they changed their name.
Yeah.
Like Sky.
Yeah, like
A little bit.
I get that like mainstream WWE fan. Like I don't know, it sort of feels like catering to ignorance, and that's just me in my particular opinion. If you can say Tommaso Ciampa, you should be able to say Io Shirai. You know what I mean?
It is not the hardest
It's not the
Japanese name.
If you can start naming off the people of Game of Thrones without stuttering, you should be able to say Io Shirai. Like, come on now. Like,
No, I mean, well, these are the same people we're talking about that couldn't name Makaska. You know, like
yeah,
there's a thing. There's a reason people want to hold on to what was, or trying to make things easier, right? Because if you have somebody you want to market as an absolute killer and push some merch, I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So
but
you're definitely right. Tommaso
I didn't
Ciampa,
like the name change. So I heard it was Corey Graves, who I have a personal gripe about now. But like, I heard he's like, "It's Io Sky." I'm like, why does he keep saying that?
No, it's not.
And the Titantron in the back is saying Io Shirai. So I was just like, did he just mess up? And he's just using to change his name, like just he's doubling down on it. But no, they just changed her name for no reason. Like, no, she was one of the longest reigning NXT women's champions outside of Mandy Rose and Asuka, was it not? Have we not been saying her name for quite some time?
Exactly. Now, the reason I had and these guys will attest, I put in the group chat that we had, it was as we were watching SummerSlam, I was like, is Io drunk right now? Because she came out stumbling. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I think Japan has a different energy. Like for their characters, especially their heel characters. People forget, like Shinsuke Nakamura, he was doing that the entire time, like back in like New Japan. Like that's just how heels are over there. So now that Io Sky is a bad guy, like she's just like, and I thought that was awesome actually, because I was just like, why not? You're gonna be a lackey for a few months, just get your paycheck and rock around. You know,
she's not getting on the mic at all, so like she can just do those weird shit with her body, because it's like, what are you gonna? It's like Asuka when she does all her.
That's what makes Asuka fun. Like it's just like, all right, do whatever you're gonna do. I think that so again, props to Becky. I agree with JR. I agree with Doc Burst, who had said something earlier on. I understand they were trying to make the Rollins household look like they have just gone full nutso. And if Seth was going full Jack Nicholson's the Joker, then it would be weird for Becky Lynch to be this Stone Cold Steve Austin like revamp in the same house, like, because we're at the level of professional wrestling where we know too much about these people, so it would be impossible to just like ignore that. It was kind of like when John Moxley was still Dean Ambrose, and he was like, everybody makes me sick and I hate everybody, and then people were looking at like his wife at the commentary table like, you want to say something about this? You know, she's like a face commentator, and it was odd. You know, I think they were doing the same thing with the Rollins household. We're being like, okay, well, if Seth's going to go full supervillain, we kind of have to make Becky Lynch go full supervillain. But because they never did it at the same time, it never really clicked. You know what I mean? I never saw them be like Seth freaking Rollins, big time Bex versus, like, I don't know, Miz and Maurice.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, are they bringing back the mixed tag match tournament or something?
Like, who would you put them against other than
I forgot about that
Miz and Maurice? Or honestly, now what would have been cool to do, which I thought they might have been setting up. I mean, Becky's a face now and injured, so no. But what would have been interesting to see was if it would have been Becky Lynch and Seth versus Montez and Bianca Belair. That would, like, then at least we would have had like a champion, like these two champions of champions, and then Seth can be like I'm only here because Becky, like, we're champions and you are just a guy. And then like that could have been a fuel for Ford to really come out, because they're trying to push him as a single guy It's been talked about. Shout out to Angelo Dawkins, by the way. I think that he is not the Jannetty of that group. I think they're very equally.
I think he's really gonna. I think he's the one that's turning. I think he's gonna turn on.
I just don't want him to heavy machinery him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
No,
Like,
no doubt.
Don't at least I like.
Because
This is why I'm mad the Hurt business broke up. Like, at least give him somewhere to go. You know, because if you're gonna break him up, he's just gonna be a heel by himself, and that's gonna be really lame. There's not even like, because the Judgment Day he wouldn't fit. There really is no other heel stable that he could like form himself into and serve a role. So if he is going to turn, which I almost hope that Ford turns, because then at least, because we already know he's good. You can turn him face again at any time. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you want to pop him babyface, we'll all go for it. So turn him heel. Have Angelo Dawkins be the face. Get him some sort of face time. And then just maybe, I don't know, go back. But yeah, I think that Big Time Beck's retiring that persona at the end of SummerSlam, sort of. You know what I mean? It was kind of like I'm done.
Yep.
I could see them folding Dawkins into the New Day.
Oh,
possibly
to fill in for Big E, like as the new muscle.
Could be. That's a good call.
I could see him doing that. I mean, like, it would be a decent enough spot for him. He's got the energy already. Again, I would think it would work better if you made Ford heel,
right?
Yeah,
and then have the New Day somehow rescue him. Like, Ford does something along with somebody else, because they can be like, how would you turn on your friend like that? Like, we've been tag team partners for so long. Like, we know what it's like. And now for you to do that is like really low, Ford. And he's like, I'm top shelf. Like, I'm Montez Ford. People have been talking about me. Like, I'm the biggest thing coming up next. And I mean, like, he kind of is. Who else do you think is going to be the next mid-carder to get called up?
Well, that's true. I mean, because we've talked plenty of times as far as that tag division needs a hard reset, because Street Profits, in my mind, is because of all that crazy, stupid shit that they did with the Viking Raiders. As far as, hey, we're going to challenge for the title, but it's going to be bowling or mini golf. It's like, stop, nope, you done fucked up.
That was a very Vince thing, though. That was a very Vince thing, and now that it's not, I mean, again, the Usos, fantastic. And I don't even like them. All right? Like, the Usos are great, and I don't even like them. I don't really think that they're particularly interesting. I think that for the most part, they're just, their storyline doesn't make sense.
Right.
I remember when Jay got his ass beat by Roman Reigns, and now he's just on board, and at no point has he gotten any comeuppance for that. Jimmy shows up and it's like, hey, Jay, you've clearly been brainwashed. He doesn't care about that anymore. Like, their story makes no sense. They're selling merch. I get
You're not wrong.
It has to all like culminate in Hollywood at Mania next year if they can actually get The Rock to agree to that match. If they do, all that has to finally have that ending to it.
You can't,
but that's just it. I mean, but that's just it.
Yeah.
Well,
like, are you gonna?
But that's just it. You're gonna have that's the big question. It's like, that's what they want, but like, Roman and the Usos have to get theirs eventually, and especially the Usos with those tag titles. It's time. At least take one of them.
This whole time, except for this match at SummerSlam, where they won clean. Like, the clean, and Jeff Jarrett didn't even do anything.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so. I kept waiting. I kept waiting for the.
He had a big match that next day. He couldn't risk anything. That was a big match that next day of carrying some old man around.
I just thought
big
that.
Match.
So when you see, when you saw like how the women's division just ramped up so hard in like one segment, Bayley, Dakota, and Io, like, all at once. Not to mention, you still have Bianca Belair, Asuka still out there, Alexa Bliss is no longer a cartoon character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting back to like some real like really exciting women's wrestling in WWE. It is sort of a shame that our tag team division, our males tag team division, I should say, is just kind of like business as usual.
Yeah.
Because what teams, we don't even know the teams. They even mentioned, oh, the Viking Raiders are mean now, and it's just
the
like
vicious Viking
The
Raiders.
vicious Viking Raiders.
You need to have that adjective there.
Yeah, I need new life in that tag division. I mean, it's going okay on NXT, it looks like, so maybe they'll start popping some of them guys up, or...
Well, I don't know.
or,
They're not doing enough with like Alpha Academy either. So, I mean, realistically, that's should be the next... Because, I mean, that's a tag team, right? So
you need a face tag team to beat the Usos. We don't have a face.
True. No,
You don't have a face tag team
Well,
that's not
you
a comedy
do.
tag team.
That's not a comedy act. Thank you.
You're right. You're right. And to be honest, the one that makes sense right now was drop it to the Mysterios so Ray gets his moment with Dom, because that's going to be a check mark on his career before he's done.
Well, they already had the titles before, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What's that?
They've already had the titles before.
Oh, did they have
The SmackDown.
So
titles.
this
Those are
shows
before it
you
was
how
unified.
uninterested I've been in WWE for the last year, which is
gonna
why we're talking about it so much.
Yeah,
now.
like Dominic. Okay, so Dominic and Ray, like Dominic and Ray, super fun, love it. As a fan of Rey Mysterio, I love to see him have a good time with his son. Outside of that, Dominic is so boring.
Yeah,
You are not wrong.
And not like no, he's not bad at wrestling. That's the other bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so boring. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't add anything to the Mysterio legacy. He doesn't have his own move. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't wear a mask. He doesn't have a thing. Even if he does go to Judgment Day, Rowdy Loudy, even if he does go to Judgment Day, he needs a thing. You know what I mean? He needs a thing that he does, that Ray doesn't do, that only he does. And if he's not going to do that, then it's kind of just like, all right, I don't care. So I don't want them to give the belts to Rey Mysterio and Dominic just because we all like Rey Mysterio. I want to give them to a tag team.
And if they've already had him once, never mind. I legitimately. That's how out of the loop I've been on WWE, ladies and gentlemen. Now, real quick here.
I've been on a loop and I fucking still knew it.
Dude.
As we sort of rush through, because we've taken a lot of. I want to say one other thing.
Oh yeah.
About SummerSlam and Raw, because I watched Raw last night too, because I wanted to see what that was like.
Yeah.
The one thing out of anything, I mean, I'm certainly happy to give Triple H time to get everything together to honor what's already been done, because he's a crossing the T's and dotting the I's kind of guy. The one thing that still irritates the living hell out of me is there's a guy that owns 10% of that company that's still calling the television shots, and I'm still getting nauseous watching.
Yeah.
And that's Kevin Dunn. He's got to go.
How is he still in the position that he's in?
I
That's
think
what I don't understand.
the only reason that he is because he knows where all the bodies are buried, I guess.
That's 100. He knows all of Vince's secrets.
No, so
that's what it comes down to.
Well, so JR and I talked about this or JVR and I talked about this on Sunday. I believe Kevin Dunn is involved somehow with either the Vince stuff or the Johnny Ace stuff, right? Like, I think he's implicated some way. We just don't know how. And I don't know if he's going to lose his job or not, because WWE is not going to buy him out, because 10% of that company is still a lot of fucking money, but they're going to try and find a different role for him. And he's not good at anything anymore, because he is so stuck in like 80s and 90s video production that it's so fucking bad. From these live camera angles. Yeah.
It's
like he's the guy we blame for all the fucking AJ style. Like that Royal Rumble was the worst example, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as AJ comes in at 3 and you're fucking hard cam, or I'm sorry, you're close up on Roman Reigns and you can't even see AJ come through the fucking underneath the Titantron and shit like that. Come on, man.
Like come on. You should have known.
That's your fucking hook right there, man.
I'll say this too. The other thing is, when I was watching last night Raw, it just occurs to me that there are probably 4 to 5 times the video cuts as compared to AEW. And they're just unnecessary. He's just taking different shots because
They
he's
want to
got 'em.
catch everything. Yeah, they want to touch everybody, make everybody feel useful.
We got 50 cameras down there. We got to use them all. Luke Raven, everybody. Luke
Hello,
Raven
it's
from
Luke.
Madhouse Wrestling.
Hey,
Real quick introductions. Luke, this is our good friend Nur-D. Nur-D, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
our friend Luke.
Hello,
Hey.
hello.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We're talking SummerSlam, so I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I got to catch the very end of that. I have 2 young kids, which means I'm on their schedule, so I don't get to watch whatever I want.
Well, it was a Saturday, man. It was a Saturday. You could have just kept them up with you.
Oh, that's not how that works.
I don't know how fucking kids work. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, I just always gave my kids a little bit of cough syrup if I wanted to watch them.
Little NyQuil.
There you go. Off you
Yeah.
go.
Best
bit of
babysitter
bourbon.
in town.
The older one's
There we
4. He's fine.
Yeah, no, we all turned out fine.
Right? Hell yeah. Well, Luke, welcome, my friend. We are very, very excited. We'll take a break on the WWE stuff. We'll get into this. And this will be fun, too, because we'll get to see how exciting this show is when we have Nur-D here, because he doesn't know any of this stuff. We've known this line up for a while. So, I mean, you may not know everybody on this show, but it's still exciting. So, Knoxville, Iowa, Saturday night. What is it? The Knoxville Event
The
Center?
Countryside Wedding and Event Center.
Beautiful little venue.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle of nowhere, but not really. There's stuff
Yeah,
there.
it's
It
just
just
like-
looks
it's
like
like
it's in the middle of nowhere.
10 minutes southeast of Knoxville, and it's kind of nice. You know, it's just a little bit outside of town, but the fact that we're having the show the same day as like the Nationals for racing.
Oh, man, that's cool.
Oh,
There's like 5
so
weeks of Nationals. There's like 5 weeks of Nationals. So
okay, but like,
that's so much shit.
so do I need to get a room?
I think
We'll figure that out later. We'll
that's
figure
been
that
set
out later.
up.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm asking
you're
questions that
staying
we
with
should be.
a very nice guy that won't give us his name. Sent us some pictures of knives. Said he had an extra room.
Look at that. There you go.
Okay.
Look at the hospitality they
Didn't see a picture of
got.
a mattress anywhere. It'll be fine. No, it's fine. I've heard
JR,
it's
yeah,
meth
old
in
basement.
Marion County. So
JR, you get to go in that house first.
All I know is if I get stabbed, the only thing coming out is going to be gravy.
That's a much better joke than the Bryce being on the shelf one, you fucking ass.
Shut up, you. Shut up, you.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, let's get into it, Luke.
Yeah.
We're here to talk. Uh-oh, Malice is in the house, too.
Malice, yeah, he's not working right now. He's not
Is
working
he
right
off or just on a break? Let's get into it. First
Yeah.
match right here. Cody Lane, Maddie Starr,
Yes.
Madhouse Wrestling to Outlaw State of Mind. How excited are we? Now, Nur-D, I don't know if you're familiar with who Maddie Starr is, but I'll tell you, he's my favorite heel out of Iowa. If you were going to have this heel stable we were talking about earlier, he would be the perfect member.
I love heel stables. They're the best for a part of wrestling.
Yeah, Maddie's been around the block. I mean, he's wrestled all around the Midwest, and he comes up into the Minnesota area quite a bit. He's won every title in IPW and Impact, and he's basically he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of wrestling. He can kind of just do it all. It doesn't matter what kind of match you put him in. If it's with a bigger guy, it can be lucha. He can do. I mean, it can be comedy. It can be really anything you want. So the pairing of him with Cody Lane, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with Cody. He wrestles down in like in the St. Louis area quite a bit. He's the Southern Flamingo.
I love that already.
Let
If
me
you
get that
guys
picture
don't
back
follow
up.
him, he's one of the best, hence the flamingo. If you see his arm, he's
love
one
it.
of the best Twitter followers because this dude hustles. He has a new video, and they're very well produced and done. A new video, I swear, it seems like it's every other day, and it has a whole overarching storyline, and it's just him. At one point, like he got injured a few months back, and he was in a boot, so he couldn't wrestle. So in the videos, he had to go work at Quick Trip, and he got fired from that. But as he was getting fired, he bought a scratcher and won some money, and he went out and he bought a double wide trailer, the nicest double wide in the park, and shit. Like, I mean, it's just
I love it.
it's genius. And then so you watch these videos and you're just like, oh my God, this guy has, you know, as much charisma as you can. Like most wrestlers would kill for an ounce of his charisma. And then you watch his matches against, like, you know, Jeremy Wyatt, Gary J. I'm trying to think of the other one I saw him the other day. I think it might have been Mike Outlaw. I mean, he can go pillar to post. He was one of the guys I sent Malice one of his videos, and all Malice responded was, "Yep, like he's in. Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. That's
Okay.
exactly what we're looking for."
That's all you need.
That's yeah.
So
Malice.
follow him. Everybody follow him, especially before the show if you're coming to the show.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Let's get into our next match. It's going to be a hardcore Haas fight.
Yeah.
Lars Metzger taking on the Death Dealer. Brought to you by Absolute Pro Wrestling.
Yes. So
wow, cross promotional stuff already, huh?
Yeah, it's I
Which,
mean, Absolute. I
thing.
think it's out there. Yo, see, he's got the Absolute. Yeah, he's got the koozie. He's got the.
I got the Madhouse hat and the Absolute koozie. Hell yeah!
That's right.
Brand
See, there it is. Yeah,
ambassading.
exactly.
I don't have a hat.
See,
So I'm talking about Nur-D,
Well,
man.
those-
I'm word of mouth and promotional as much as I can be.
That's
That's
how,
sold
that's
out.
how we do it.
the hat sold out. So
I know. I got a shirt coming, I heard.
if you got one of these, you're one of 25 people. That's it. So
Ooh,
Tommy.
yeah.
Again, this
Yeah,
is the
Lars-
top shelf life, baby. 1 of 25, one of like 8.7 billion. No big deal.
That's right.
Fuck it.
the resale on that in like 50 years, you're going to be able to get a cool $10 maybe.
I spent
And with
I spent
inflation,
20 on
that's,
that,
that's
damn it.
pretty
So,
Goodwill will sell that thing for $5.
Google ain't never gonna get this motherfucking hat.
nice stitching though.
It
We
is
did make
nice.
a dime off these. Just in
Very
case
nice.
anyone's wondering.
That's great. Gonna be a good fight though with these two big guys right here.
Yeah.
Two big scary guys.
So
I'm the guy who looks like
Lars,
the
you saw
choke.
on his first show back in March against Maddie. Won that one by spearing Maddie through a door.
Yeesh.
Lars is just a big, scary, tattooed motherfucker. I mean, he is. Yeah, there you he checks all the boxes that we're looking for, right? Yeah. So he had just a knockdown, drag out fight with Maddie. Came out as the victor on that one. And what's funny is, and Ace or Tom, I don't know if you saw this. He had a little girl cry after the match because she was so happy that he won.
Oh wow!
So happy that he
Lame.
won. She was like in legit tears. I mean, I think she's 8 or 9, and her dad was there, and he's a police officer, and he saw his daughter crying. He got emotional. Like they had to go outside and take a break. And after the show, I was like, "Do you want to meet Lars?" She's like, "Oh, I can meet him. I can meet him." And I was like, "Yeah." Brought him over, and she was just like, you know, starstruck by this guy. So if you can bring a kid to tears, especially in happiness, you got to book him again.
I don't know. Children are dumb, so I don't know if you need to book them again. I mean, I know there are future, but they're also real fucking dumb.
Well,
Okay, Tom.
if you want to say that to the police officer,
I'll say it to anybody. Goddamn, you think I'm
Make
afraid
sure
of
your pockets are
police
clean.
officers?
he'll plant some shit on either way.
Bring
Oh
it
my
on.
goodness!
Lars
Shit,
murdered
man.
that kid.
then-
Murdered.
And then Fearing, Death Dealer,
Oh, big boy.
he's another just big dude. I mean, it was one of those ones where when you're booking it and you're just kind of like going back and forth and you're just like, what kind of match you want? It's like, you know what I'd love to see? I really want like Hansen versus Brody, something like that. You know, or Masawa, or, you know, just Kenta Kobashi. You know, I'm a huge All Japan nerd, and it's just like, what could we book that would be like that? Be like King's Road type shit. And this is it. So it's kind of a dream for me to see something like that. And so it's going to be a good one.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the Death Dealer, good friend of ours.
Yeah.
What do we got next here? Let's get to this guy right here. We got the Madhouse Wrestling Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Tag Team Photography. Shout out to Clint Dye. You're the
Clint,
man. I can't remember. Is there any stipulation on
stipulation?
this?
any championship match, we do a fight to the finish rule,
know
which
this.
just means that
My
there's
bad.
got to be a winner. That there's not going to be any DQs, countouts, none of that shit. It's just going to be pinfall, submission, knockout. That's pretty much it. You know, we're pretty lax on the rules anyway.
Yep.
But for championship matches, it's we don't want to cheat any fans. You know, there's gonna be a pinfall, submission, or knockout. That's it. You know, it's not gonna be a schmoz or anything. And so the first show ended. You know, the first show was Justin versus a Gable in that Knoxville street fight that Max got involved in.
Still can't believe Gable took my Nux from me. That's bullshit.
There's a whole when if we get offline, I'll tell you the story behind that. And so Gable ended up winning that one with Max's help, and they were putting the boots to Justin after the match, and that's when Malice, who's a good friend of Justin, walked into the ring, kendo stick in hand, allowed Gable to hit him right between the eyes. Like, he's just like, hey, give me one. Gable gives him one. He's like, all right, give me one more. Bah! Give him another one. It's like, fuck that. He just starts beating the shit out of himself because, you know, Malice wants to get down to double-digit brain cells. And he did that night.
Is he still here?
He's in the chat. Don't worry about that.
Oh, Malice.
He's probably
I'm
down
not
to
worried
single
about
digits
it.
after Hall of Fame weekend, Tom.
Oh,
I know
How
he
are you doing?
he took a straight chair shot to the head.
Yeah, that's
So-
he's got that Homer Simpson syndrome. He's got the extra layer of fluid surrounding his brain.
like
Is that what you're calling it?
3-4 years ago is when I saw him first do like the running spear, but then takes the chair shot.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Nur-D, I'll tell you, I thought it was one of the only times where I was sitting ringside at a show that I was like legitimately concerned for my friend. I was like, you shouldn't do that. Like,
holy
that was awful. You the face, and you ran. What? And every time I'm like, don't do that anymore.
See, craziest thing is like when you see this shit happen to him, and then you see him back in the locker room, it's like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
He's a beast.
He's absolutely insane. I mean, I told the story growing up with him. You'd go over to his house when he was doing some backyard shit, and you just like walk into his backyard, and he's just jumping off of a fucking roof and landing on the ground, giving it, you know, the Foley elbow drop and shit. And it's just like, oh, I don't want to do that. No, I'm walking out of here. You know, I hope no one saw me. So yeah, him and Justin versus Chileo, Max Chill, Gable Galloway,
Chileo, baby.
That one, I think that one will be pretty good, and it's not in that graphic, but Ugly is the special guest referee.
That's right.
Been around. Ugly has had hardcore battles with Malice and Justin. He's been a large part of Max and Gable's careers. You know, he's helped train them, so he's got a kind of a foot in both camps here, and so he doesn't do a lot. He doesn't wrestle really hardly anymore, and so we wanted to bring him in, and it was something that Gable actually wrote to Malice on Twitter. He called Malice, like we were like, hey, name this team, and I think Gable wrote something like ugly some bitches or so, I don't know what it was, but he used the word ugly, and Malice was like, oh, you know what would be fun?
Nice, dude.
What if we got Ugly involved?
Shout out to Ugly. Shout out to Shakopee.
So that's about how much forethought we put into a lot of this.
Awesome. I love it. Let's get to this.
Being made on Twitter. I'm all about it.
There we go. Next match, Arjun Singh versus Jeremy Wyatt. This is going to be a banger for sure.
This one's going to be killer.
Wow.
Killer. So Wyatt also at the first show, and he was part of the tournament. He ended up, he lost to Manders in what was just a tremendous match. Ace, I don't know if you've gone back and watched the footage of that whole thing, because it was you know, we had issues with the Wi-Fi the first time, so some of the shit was pretty grainy. But that match actually came out pretty well. And if you go back and watch that match, I mean, holy shit, it was unreal, him and Manders. And so bringing Wyatt back, because again, one of the best in the Midwest. Why? Wyatt steal Lance Storm's old ring attire. I don't remember. Did Storm ever have the? I don't think he ever had the jacket. It's the same color scheme.
I was gonna say that jacket is. I pick him.
Wyatt,
Right.
I don't know who it is, but the best jacket in the game so far. That's 100%.
He got some like flare ones too, like with the because he was part of NWL in Kansas City. And
just to let you know, Nur-D, by the way. Yeah, find Jeremy Wyatt on Twitter because there's a video he posts every year on the anniversary when it happens. It's the best video I've ever seen on Twitter where a woman gets up out of her seat, yells at him as he's coming down the aisle, and she's like 2 seats away. And as she's about to go sit down, he just pulls her chair out and she falls flat on her face. And I laugh my ass off every fucking year he posts that. And I literally watch it like 34 times in a row, just laughing my ass off. She spills her beer and literally, like, he just kind of like, yeah, that's what, and then just keeps on going. I'm like, hell,
heel
yeah,
move,
dude.
baby.
That's one of the best heels of all time right there.
I want to say that was at an Anarchy show.
Oh, nice.
Quite possibly.
When they first started running back up. But, man, he is as good of a villain, like a person that you want to. I mean, he was getting into some shit with the crowd at the first show. That
I'll be real honest. I don't know why that guy's not somewhere nationally. To be real honest with you,
that's a very good question.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
He's someone that a lot of places have missed the boat on. Honestly, there's no one that does anything better than him in the ring, out of the ring, preparation. You don't outwork Jeremy Wyatt.
I knew that from the jacket.
Yeah,
for sure. Jacket to know that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nur-D has one fucking response to everything, man.
Like,
what's the jacket look like?
If it's a badge, nobody walks down to the ring with who is worth their salt with a bad jacket.
It's true.
It's true.
Amen.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I got.
Talent is what.
And then we've seen Arjun on AEW Dark. So
yes,
we've seen him get a little shine too recently. So that's very cool.
He's made some appearances on WWE television as well.
Oh yeah,
and like 2 months ago, I want to say he was in India, working and training with for the Great Khali's promotion.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So he was over there for I think he was over there for almost like a full month. He was over there for quite a while. And
I've seen him training
and working over there. And again, he's someone that I don't know if it's because he's in Kansas City, but Kansas City has like 4 or 5 great promotions in it and surrounding it. And he's someone that I am just so excited to bring to Iowa. You know, we don't get talent. You know, we need to be bringing in talent like that, like Arjun Singh, like Jeremy Wyatt, to be able to expose our fans. Like, hey, things are different outside of our little scope. You know, our bubble. Here's some new shit, and that's what we want to be able to do is bring in some new stuff, mix and match shit. And so these two guys, they've met before, they've wrestled before. So if you find it on YouTube it's going to be a killer match. I think it's probably one of the better up there for contenders of match of the night, honestly.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's going to be so good. I still say Wyatt and Jossie had one of my all-time favorite matches last year at Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That just such a great story they told. That whole match was amazing. Oh, we did that one. There it is. The Outlaw match. Holy shit, guys. Let's get into this. The Outlaw State of Mind, the last Outlaw match. We've got 10, if I'm correct?
Yes, 10.
10 competitors. Each one comes to the ring with a weapon.
Send Mott,
baby.
Send Mott.
Danny Mott, baby. Putting money on him, guys. Here we go.
Let's go.
So you've got, let's see, we got Ethan Everhart, we got Jackson King, the Lone Diamond. Who is the man in the flannel? Bogat. We've got Ricky Bronson, we've got Cole Cannon, we've got the big picture, ZK47, and then Daniel Mott, and then 2 surprise entrants. Are there going to be announcements, or we have to actually wait till the show?
No, Malice actually texted me, and he said I can announce one of them.
Oh shit, we're breaking news, boys.
It's me.
Yeah. Wait.
It's Nur-D.
Yes. Wait. Oh.
Surprise,
now you know.
suckers!
Bring your gear.
Oh my god! Just the surprise suckers was amazing right there. Just coming right out of the breaking news. Surprise suckers!
We're just gonna do what we're gonna do is we're just doing the 3 faces of Foley thing, but it's gonna be all Mott.
I love it.
But he's just gonna wear a different wig every time or something.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, it's not. I'm fucking with you. So we have those 8 announced, and one is going to stay a surprise. Although if you look on social media across pretty much all of our platforms to be able to get the pieces of this, you might be able to figure out who the last one is. But number 9 is Shank.
Oh,
Big Shank.
Top shelf Shank.
Dude, he's going to be coming out, and I mean, he is. How would you describe?
Shank is the guy.
He's a bulldozer. He's
one of the toughest guys in the world that doesn't look like he's one of the toughest guys in the world.
We were talking about this, Tom and I, last week when he came out into the match he was in. And entered the ring lucha style at Hall of Fame weekend. I was absolutely floored.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, he looks like he could have been part of a lucha house party, no fucking problem.
Yeah.
And he does not fit the shape of those guys either. I mean, this is a big old boy. So
Mal said, "I love Shanky. I hate that Mott is going to murder him." Bring up the let's explain who Mott is for Nur-D and anyone. So he's in the purple.
Please. Oh, I see.
That's Mott. That's Murder Man Mott. If you want to keep your girlfriend, don't bring him to a show that Mott's on.
Oh,
don't
snap.
must to get your girl.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Y'all talking this big game with Mott, man. Like I've seen him. I met him. I know who he is. Y'all just making a big old mess out of nothing right there, man.
Mott just don't like you,
understand.
and that's why you're sore about it. That's all.
He loves me. I hate him. It's the totally different opposite of what you're fucking saying there, Ace.
Well, you're going to be the only one not cheering when he comes out that night.
I'm not going to be there.
Other than a couple of the hometown talent, I think Mott might get the biggest pop. Honest to God. He's going to
100%.
And so this match, for anyone uninitiated, because we can't.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
You, y'all need to. I don't know who you are in the comments. Y'all need to go to church.
Y'all need Jesus right there, man.
Good night.
Just to let you know, Goro has been one of our long time followers on this show. And
now he's gonna find you. Now Mott's gonna find you.
He's crazy.
There's the craziest stuff out in the chat.
So
I can't believe
anyone
Mott's not hitting the
that's
chat right now.
uninitiated for the last Outlaw match. Ric Flair's last match, they did the Bunkhouse Stampede, which they stole from us, which we legally stole from Dusty. And so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And except we're doing like the Rumble style instead. The old Bunkhouse Stampede was Battle Royal, everyone comes out at once. So we're doing it like Rumble style. One person every 90 seconds comes out with a weapon. I think
am I keeping him? Am I the timekeeper for that? Do I need to get a stopwatch for Saturday, guys?
No, man. You're the one announcing everybody goes out.
Use the Royal Rumble clock.
I'm just gonna have the crowd count down from 90 every time.
It is more of a suggestion than a hard time.
Really
right?
Yeah.
What it's gonna be is me in the back being like, I don't know, just fucking go.
Just go. Like, I don't know. Like if you want to go. Yeah, no, it's been whatever. Go.
I mean, come on, Luke.
Taking this edible before this match.
Yeah, Luke. They serve booze at this venue. You think that anybody can count off from 90? Especially in Iowa, dude. Come on, like let's fucking be real here.
We have trouble with it.
People are saying Knoxville count.
Oh no.
Knoxville. I believe in your literacy and your ability to count.
Yes.
Mouse has run 2 shows in fucking Knoxville right now. This will be the second one, and he still is fucking doubting him.
Oh my God.
Nur-D believes it's good. And we love our staff out there at that event center. They're amazing.
Dude, they're so good to us.
They loved us.
I mean,
they are some of the best people.
I hope this
all that blood, and they're like, please come back.
Yeah, they didn't care. But here's the thing. So a little bit like to draw the curtain back a little bit. So we Malice and I about maybe a month ago. So 4 weeks before the show, we get a really fun Saturday because the owner called Malice and was like, hey, our insurance called us and said if you have the show, we're no longer going to insure you.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. And so we're just like,
Really?
what the fuck? So, and apparently is because they thought, again, hope I'm not shattering any glass ceilings or anything for anybody, but they were putting wrestling with like MMA and boxing.
Oh.
And so they're just like, oh, you can't have, you know.
Still real to me, damn it.
That's right.
Yeah. How dare you,
So-
God damn it!
I kid you not.
Kayfabe is alive and well, man.
We had like 3-4 days of not knowing if we were going to have a show there. Like we had a backup ready. Like I went and I found a backup, but
In
we had
Knoxville?
like 3-4 days not knowing if we're going to have to move it. And then we get the call and I switched insurances. So
Oh wow, she's like, screw you guys, they're coming.
yeah,
I love it.
That's what's up.
I love those.
All
people.
the
They're
love.
amazing.
All the
I can't
love.
wait to
That's
thank them.
amazing.
buy tons of beer, sell out the concessions again.
Please
Oh,
do
speaking of beer,
Everybody.
we'll be right
Give
back.
them all the money. Ooh.
Okay, go. Tom's leaving. Awesome.
How's
Tom has to go pee.
Top shelf. Is that where he keeps the beer?
I don't know, but we're gonna get into the main event while he's gone because
There you go.
who cares about Tom? Outlaw State of Mind again. It's going down this Saturday night. We got AJ Smooth, who is the Madhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, and he is taking on Clay, right?
Clay Cooper.
Clay Cooper, who we'll show you because I actually have your guys' little teaser video
Oh, sweet.
Tom, that we'll show. Where you can see
He
Mr.
was
Clay
up.
Cooper fly
Yeah.
off the okay, we'll do that right now. Why not? Tommy's gone. Boom and boom.
By the way, sponsored by the 2 Count.
Sponsored by 2 Count.
This one is.
Lots of copywritten content on this.
Oh shit. Okay.
Play it anyway. I'll just say some stuff.
What movie is this?
You mean an institution?
There you go. Okay. Thank you.
A madhouse?
Oh my god. This is on YouTube though, so it didn't get, or did it get pulled down? Do you not have
It
it?
did not get pulled down. I got a strike.
Okay. Oh.
Madhouse.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
We do.
Hence, that was the name of the first show.
Haven't you?
Show them. Talking.
Good old Jeffries. Look at the rake.
The back rake. The back rake.
The literal back rake.
There's Maddie.
Oh, snap.
And here's Jeremy. Getting into it.
Such a. Look at these kids. Look at she is mad.
Boom. There's Justin.
Look at that.
What's
Man.
Malice have to do with this?
There's Malice.
You invited Malice here.
Oh, man.
The TS aggressor there, hell yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, I wonder whatever happened to that guy.
I've changed my mind.
There it is.
Malice is a perfect hero.
He's insane, guys. He's insane.
Oh, man.
Manders and Wyatt, one hell of a match. Give me wild, baby.
Ricky.
Oh, my goodness.
There we go. I didn't get
Any
enough
fun
of that beer.
memories from that day and night.
That wet spot is there the rest of the show from the beers.
Yep. Look at that. There's those fancy title belts. Just
It is one of the prettiest title belts there is, man.
very much.
Very nice belt.
Right. Look at this. Manders just landing in people's laps. Maddie and Lars. Oh, Maddie. Maddie.
He needs some milk.
Oh, dude, Manders' lariat is no joke.
I was on
There
the
he
computer for doing the production side, like as far as switching cameras and stuff. And every single one of those fucking moves with any kind of instrument, I was like, oh no, they got him behind the camera.
Look at Clay fly off the balcony.
Yeah, there it was.
That was crazy.
That's a great move. And I'm so glad it came through.
I didn't even put it in the video. He does a shooting star press to the outside.
Dude, this debut show for you guys was a true statement show. And I mean, you guys put your name out in Iowa for sure that night.
That was really cool. Nice. Bionico.
First champion. Get it, Stampede through the tail.
Manners is bloodied as all hell.
We're gonna see Manders make his way back someday to Madhouse, you think?
I hope so.
Yeah.
He moved out east. He's doing runs now with GCW again. He's out there, man. Look at that.
He loves you boys.
With his blood.
He loves you boys, though.
He definitely does.
He told us that when he was on.
He's good shit.
Could have been blowing smoke up my ass. I don't know.
Now so much for more beer. I'm still in training, goddammit. Gotta make this up to you one day.
Which, by the way, everybody, Luke made this. This whole video was Luke, who before this had like no video editing experience. So, bravo, Luke.
Oh, snap. Oh, no.
Oh my God!
No, this is barbed wire.
You know what I really feel bad about? I should have sent you a picture of one of those chairs afterwards. And it was so fucking nasty, dude.
Here we go! Power bomb! Power bomb into the barbed wire!
Oh, look at that.
Hilarious again. It's no joke. I can't wait for Saturday, guys.
So after that main event, AJ Smooth is the champion, and Ace was there. Obviously, he knows he was trying to get in the ring or trying to figure out how to actually ring announce after this. AJ Smooth was so beat up after that match and after the night in general that he could barely move out of the ring. So, I mean, it was a hell of a fucking night.
Oh, shoot. Was there more to that? Sorry.
It was one of our announcers saying they came for, I think, blood and excitement, and that's what they got. That's what the people paid for. That's Alex McCarthy, who announces for SCW, which is like the promotion for Black and Brave.
Mm-hmm.
So for like the Rollins, Merrick, Brave, yeah. So he announces over there. So we got him, and I've known him for years, and we got him for the first show. But SCW seems to always have, like, going forward, they have shows scheduled for this Saturday, and the same day for our next show. We have a third show scheduled that will be announced this Saturday, the details of it and everything. But yeah, so Clay,
I can't wait.
It's Clay.
Well, so just to let you know, I mean, if Ace is your ring guy, your ring announcer, and if you need somebody
He
to
was
jump
very hurt that he wasn't asked to do anything, I think.
No, I wasn't hurt about anything because
You told me I was trash at ring announcing before I even ring announced that day. You're a jerk, Tom. Like,
Yeah, here's the
you
thing.
were
Tom
jealous.
just is always trying to put himself over, go into business for himself. That's all he wants to do. That's the only thing. That's the only reason he's on this show is to try to get himself over.
How about this?
I'm not sharing
You guys-
duties with him. I'm not sharing duties with him.
So pre-show, we got that like 30 minutes when doors open before the first bell.
Oh, are you going to do comedy?
Do you guys want to do something?
see, you son of a bitch, you know I'm not going to be there this fucking weekend.
Oh, that's right. He's not. You're not.
You son of a bitch.
Loser.
You goddamn
I'll
asshole.
be
You
happy
know
to
better,
do it.
Luke. You fucking ass.
Okay. In all fairness,
Fucking
again,
dickhead.
we have a third show scheduled,
I can't wait.
and so I'll give you the details of it.
Yeah, you better fucking get in the
offline.
chat right now, the private chat, and fucking let me know the details because I might already have something fucking lined up. You
No, you
cocksucker.
don't. You don't. You
Big,
don't.
big Ace versus Tom.
Can I sit on top shoulder?
Well, no, I was just gonna say because I know Midnight Guthrie, the other commentator and stuff, so I would be more than willing to work with him.
Oh,
But
then they would hate you.
no, we're good friends, man. I mean,
Here's
it
the
might be
thing,
a little bit ironic doing a heel and heel commentating team,
Yeah, that was what I
but
was gonna say. But Midnight, honestly, because he's got his thing going. But if you listen to the commentary, even though we weren't able to put the full show out, I listened to the commentary throughout the whole night. And even though he skewed that way, I wouldn't call him I wouldn't have said he was like a full blown heel announcer,
no.
because Midnight also he was like our play by play guy, because he has such
Mhm.
a depth of wrestling knowledge. There's not a move out there that he's not going to be able to, shout off the top of his head. And
he's
so
good. I'm so
and
bad
so what we
at
did
it.
for this show is we actually paired him with Matthew Hollinger, who used to announce with him at 3XW, back in the day, like starting like 10 maybe 15 years ago. And they were on the 3XW TV show when it was on the CW in Iowa. And so we were just like, well, who can we pair him up with if Alex is going to be on? It's like, well, why don't we get that thing back? See if Hollinger wants to do it. He's been out of the game for a few years now, but let's just see if he wants to do it. He said, yeah, sure. So
nice. I love it.
Smart decision.
I'll get you the details of the next show.
Yeah, please. I mean, first of all, I want to make sure I keep my schedule open because I like working with you guys because it was a lot of fun the first show. I'm hoping that JR does a very good job with filling my role for the second show. And
just so you know, you were actually filling in JR's role.
Well, but the invite goes to JR for this Saturday too. If
coming.
you want to do something during the like the pre-show, if you want to call it, like the 30 minutes, when doors open, and then during intermission, if you want to do crowd work in whatever, we don't give a shit. That's the thing. We don't give a shit. We just want to compile the best roster and the best talent, put on the best matches that we want or that we can, fill it with as much nonsense and violence and comedy as possible, and just hope people enjoy it.
No, so you say we want to fill things in. I will say this for JR. You need to pay the motherfucker before he will do comedy for you. So you got to make sure he gets paid if he's going to be doing comedy for you. But also, that's where this whole drinking challenge. I'm just letting you know, Luke. You got to pay a man to do comedy. That's how it goes. This is a business still.
He gets free entrance.
Our announcer, the kid that did the guy that did music got paid. Literally, our photographers got paid. We don't.
No,
we're not carny bullshit. That's the thing that drives me nuts.
Exactly. No, I understand.
Oh, hey, I'll do this work for you. Oh yeah, come on and do it. And then you don't even get gas money. I mean, we're not. We're not there. We don't have hush money. We don't have hush money dollars.
Can we get the hush money soon?
No.
If we get to that point, we can get to that point if we stop paying everybody, but we're not going to do that. So
I'm not. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not concerned about this.
Right
so Luke, Tom does not speak. Luke, I just want to say, Tom does not speak for me in any way, shape, or form. But I typically don't leave the house for less than $200.
See, this is what I'm talking about. All right,
but he will. He will. This.
But I whatever.
Okay,
hold on. Before we move on, I got to address this fact. Right?
Anywhere.
Yeah. So before we go any further, right? So this whole drinking challenge thing that was supposed to happen at Hall of Fame weekend, it was actually supposed to happen at intermission of the first show with Madhouse.
This is actually Luke's fault. It came out of his mouth originally.
See, everybody got too busy though. That's the thing. Like Luke got too busy.
Well,
Mouse was too busy because it's during the show.
And it was
again,
the first
we're running our first show. Back in March, and again, the edibles kicked in at the wrong time.
See, that's not my fucking fault right there. That's not my fault. I was sober.
I have a great idea, Luke. What I'll do is at intermission time, I'll reenact Tom's part of the drinking challenge and just take a little nap in the ring.
That would be the funniest thing. But just think, if would we go to intermission, no one says anything, and JR just comes out of nowhere with a pillow and a blanket and just climbs his giant ass in the ring and then just lays down for 10 minutes. And then when I come in, I just kind of kick him when it's time, and he'll just roll out.
Oh, just 5 more minutes.
I hate this idea so fucking much. It hurts right now. Like literally my soul.
Well, guess who's not going to be there this weekend?
I know it's fucking happening. I'm just saying I want to make sure everybody's aware that I am so fucking infuriated right now. God damn it. I hate every.
I do have a question because I warned, I've said numerous times, you don't go hard Hall of Fame weekend on night one.
Sorry.
That is such a rookie mistake. You don't.
And I've been going for how many years?
Hold on.
That's what I did.
Hold on. Let me just point this out though, Luke. All right. I wore sunglasses and had a beer during the podcast collective, and I was basically the star of the motherfucker. So don't act like I was not fucking doing the character. I was living the bit, goddammit, okay?
You're
the one who wants to break fucking kayfabe. I'm over here fucking living the goddamn dream, okay?
He's like
all the way.
It's like he's a better looking Tom, Jesse.
Does that mean?
Oh well, no. Here's the thing. See, I still got my fucking hair, right? Where's yours, Luke?
For?
Oh snap! We're calling out hair now.
We are. Okay. This ginger beard
Jericho
motherfucker needs to learn something.
Booker
All right.
T.
If everybody wants to fucking say he's a better looking Tom.
Tom's more like a low rent Yukon Cornelius.
I watch Frosty every day with my 1-year-old daughter, so that was perfect.
Go.
Oh, that's amazing.
JR, I have every inkling to beat the absolute shit out of you the next time I see you, which is sad because you're an old man.
Which, by the way, fellas, the next time we're going to see each other is going to be next Wednesday night at AEW Dynamite.
That's right.
Dynamite!
No, so here's the thing. We may not see JR because he's in the fucking fancy seats, ringside.
So Matt, if you want to know how we had that extra ticket, the extra ticket is that giant fellow and his more giant son are going to sit in the front row and block everyone behind them.
Well, way to be inconsiderate.
What?
JR, are you going to go full like fan? Like you're just going to gimmick yourself?
Well,
you're just like,
so
I'm the happy face shirt asshole.
My son's been going fucking crazy with the shirts. I now have an Ass Boys shirt. That he got yesterday. I have a Miro shirt that he got last week, and I'm like, stop doing that shit. He's
Malice, you
every piece of clothing
shirts. I have to get some when we go.
Mm-hmm. It's like every piece of clothing I have is a wrestling shirt now that isn't like a polo.
Do you wear do you guys wear wrestling shirts when you do your stand up?
I typically don't. I mean, I kind of always. I try to look like I'm like it's my job and professional, but I've sort of steered away from that now. I have a couple of hockey jerseys. Tom saw one of them. It's from when the Simpsons had the Isotopes hockey team. And then I have also one from Slapshot. I have one of the Charlestown Chiefs jerseys as well. So I just like I'm getting to the point where I'm old enough that I don't care. So I would wear wrestling shirts now probably.
Well, now Nur-D, let me ask you this because I know you tend to like to sometimes, depending on the show, where it's at, what it's for. You and the band like to dress up sometimes. Have you guys done a show where you're dressed up as a wrestlers?
I mean, obviously, when you look at the Nerdy Club stuff, obviously we wear the Nerdy Club show, shirts to shows for sure. We've done that. We've never done full-on wrestlers. I think just because the occasion has not really called for it. If we were to do something with, let's say, like First Wrestling, let's say if we were going to do something at the Mall of America at some point, then potentially we could do something like that. Or, who knows what other cool organizations we might be affiliated with in the future that we might want to dress up as wrestlers that we like. Because all of my band, I have dragged my band kicking and screaming into the wrestling fandom. So they all have a favorite, even if they don't watch. They all have a favorite now. Because I'm like, it's required to be a part of the group now. So
I love that so much. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the best part of running a band because you can basically
who you would dress up if you had to pick. Who would it be? Who's the wrestler?
I had to
your go-to.
Good night. Well, I mean, if
so
I could pull it off, I think I would want to do the Demon Finn because I think, or the Prince Devitt, like old school, like every concert. I just have this new face paint.
My God,
nonsense on. I think that's one of my favorites. But if to do something more like realistic that I could wear like every show. Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. I know he was doing Randy, but it was just my favorite. Like I didn't know that much about Macho Man Randy Savage at the time when I was watching it. So like I knew who he was imitating, but like in my head, Black Machismo and Jay Lethal is my favorite version of Jay Lethal.
Okay, how about this? If we can get a Madhouse show and get you on it, will you do Pumpkin Balor?
Oh my goodness! The one that we never got to see. You know, the one we were supposed to fight Sister Abigail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was at that show. I was at that TLC. There was in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all were. Well, Tommy, I think it's the only one that wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't out there.
All the what was it, meningitis or some shit?
Yeah. I remember
it was a good show.
It was a good show. Freaking AJ Styles versus Finn Balor for the first time was crazy.
Yeah.
Because they just gave us that on a random like TLC with no warm up, no pressure. Like there's like boom.
Wasn't that Asuka's main roster debut too against Emma?
Yep.
Which was like her last match, I think.
Yep. And then Kurt Angle's last match.
Yeah.
He showed up at the Shield.
Yeah.
Which honestly
they walked right by us.
Dope. Was crazy.
Hey, we were by you then.
Oh, were you? So okay, so we were like watching the stupid fucking the Titantron, and we didn't realize that like they were coming down our way until they were like basically past us.
Oh no!
We were just like, wait, what?
Damn it!
Shit.
I went to go like pee or something, and I couldn't because they were blocking everything out in the concourse. But then you got like Ambrose is sitting there, and it's just like, oh, this is cool, and everybody's just around.
That was wild. I remember that. That was crazy,
dude.
But that's getting musical acts is something that Malice and I have talked about. We tried getting into a venue in Des Moines to be able to do that, kind of like a first wrestling, because they did WrestlePalooza a couple times in Des Moines.
Oh, cool.
And then Cannon stopped running for various reasons, and they got crowds, and we wanted to do it. And I would message and email and call this play. You know what? I'll just say it. Woolies in Des Moines, they are fucking assholes. Fuck them.
What's up, Woolies?
Woolies? You're dropping the bag. You're fumbling the bag, Woolies.
Fuck you, because I was trying to get in there. We were willing to pay for a goddamn venue. They didn't respond to a fucking thing. And then you know who do they book in Des Moines in December? Control Your Narrative. Really?
These fucking morons.
Rally in Iowa is fine, but don't call it a wrestling show.
Oh no, that hurts to hear.
Fucking dorks is right. No
okay,
shit,
but the goal is we need to then find a venue in Des Moines so we can make this show happen, because Madhouse and Nur-D, that's just
how
about the Bel Air Ballroom, for fuck's sake?
I have messaged them as well.
I'm not gonna lie.
If someone has a hookup that's watching this for any venue in Des Moines that will fit a wrestling ring, not because we're not going to do a no ring, no ropes.
Yeah, no, it's gonna
be show with music. We want a legit ring, and so if anyone has a venue
in the ring at First Wrestling in First Ave, that was fun.
How cool was that? Was that?
I love it. That was my first time physically in a wrestling ring. I have friends that do wrestling, so I've been at practices and stuff, and like all that. And I respect the squared circle, so I'm not going to go up into it unless
it doesn't. Tom,
you know what I mean? There's a certain sort of etiquette that someone's home, and I'm not just going to walk into someone's house uninvited.
Have you ever taken a chop?
I have yet to take. I've been trying.
What are you doing this weekend? Nur-D, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, this weekend I would be driving back from Gen Con. If I had the ability, I would be stopping by and seeing that, just watching the video of all of the wicked nonsense that was going on. That's amazing. So
it's a fun time.
Next time, now that I know that Madhouse is a place to be.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
We're trying to be the most fan-friendly, welcoming place, which if you go to the Hall of Fame weekend, you go out after the show, fans and wrestlers, whether it be IPW, Hall of Famers, talent they've brought in from anywhere around the world. I mean, like getting to go somewhere with Ultimo Dragon, how that was a few years ago. That was dope, right? And so we're trying, we want to be able to do stuff like that where fans, after the show, we can all kind of come together. And one of the things that fans always ask is how much of those chops hurt. They hurt.
I cannot imagine. But also,
have you guys taken a chop?
Wes hit me once. Not
Jimmy
as hard
Wild
as he
owes
could have,
me
though.
one.
Wes?
Yeah.
Jimmy Wild owes you one?
Wes gave me like a half chop.
Yeah. So Jimmy Wild was supposed to give it to me at Full Gear, and I didn't see him at all. But I have taken a chair shot. I will say that.
All I'm saying is that I was raised by a black mother, so I've been hit more times. Y'all
been chopped, bro.
A chop. A chop.
No, I got the wood spoon. I got the leather
spoon,
belt across the ass a few times, so I don't know what's worse.
I can take a chop. Y'all just, I hadn't even seen the light until I was already a man.
Bringing up a god. My word.
I'll tell you what. Have you guys ever seen a Hispanic mother hit one of their kids with, I think it's called like a chacla or chancla?
Yeah, me.
Yep.
You?
My mom sidearmed me with a soccer cleat. She got it through a car window that it was open this much. She's at the doorway going in the garage. I'm in the car. I'm like 8 years old, little shithead, because I'm like, I'm supposed to be at my soccer game and I can't find my cleats, and I'm being a little kid who's not nice. She found it, and I was she just sidearmed it, and it came flying in. All of a sudden, I'm just like, oh, wow, she made it through the window and into my mouth.
Like,
yeah.
No one told you bullets flow straight.
You don't want to be curving that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my mom's a little old Mexican lady, man. You know how many times she just right away the slipper or the slip.
Oh yeah,
it's one move. It's
right?
a one
it's
move.
like a flip flop.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fuck around, man.
That's how it is.
I'd gladly take a chop over her throwing those things at me again.
Oh yeah,
you kidding me?
Those wooden spoons hurt too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My mom broke.
Tossed one at me, stuck in her interior door.
Oh jeez,
like that.
Dude, my mom back in the day when my family was in New York City, my brother and sister went to like a Catholic school, and my brother always acted up. So she hit him with a spoon, broke it, gave him a fat lip. I think smacked him on the head, like a red mark. When he went to school, the nun asked what happened, and he was just like, "Oh, mom beat me." Like then they called her to the school. Yeah, they call her to the school. The nuns.
Catholic school.
The nuns. Yeah. I like how you said the nun.
Well, yeah. And they're like
listen,
you're abusing.
Lady, use a ruler. They leave less bruises.
No, dude, it was weird. They were like, are you abusing him? And like my mom went off. Like just went off. Like, this is my child. If he's misbehaving, I'm gonna, all the
goodness.
Just malice. That's why so is that how the business partnership came?
Oh my word.
This is just
again, I got the wood spoon. I got the belt from my dad a couple of times. I got the come to God moment where literally I'm standing face to face as a 10-year-old with my father, and I can see the death in his eyes. I'm like, oh shit. And then I think I was thrown down the stairs one time.
I love how we're getting all this out.
On accident.
All of us can now talk about it. I'm glad.
Well, don't worry. Yeah, Nur-D, don't worry. Both my parents are dead, so it's not like anyone's going to
There we go.
My old man just had to give me like the stare. Because he was only 5'9", but he was a weightlifter, like did competitions and shit. And so like my mom, I'd just be talking mad shit, and she's like, "I'm gonna tell your dad." I'm like, "No, we're cool. Oh, it's fine. Dad, come home."
Yeah, that's exactly it. My dad was raised by a single mother who was also the principal of the school. So if he messed around at school, not only would he get beat because everybody knew his mom and she gave the okay, he would then get beat at home from her. It's like, Jesus, I couldn't
That's a
imagine.
tough move.
Yeah. And then he spent 20 years in the Navy and then tried to raise kids. Like, salute, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, yeah, Danny, don't ever tell your mom it didn't hurt. Don't ever.
So
I learned that at the first wood
my old
spoon
man was a
fucking
yeller.
spanking.
He was a
My old
yeller.
man was a yeller. He never hit. But he, like Tom, he was raised by a single mother and had two sisters. So
Was he giant like you?
Women were like the power figure to him. My mother would spank me until she hurt her hand, and then started using the spoons and the fly swatters and any like the metal tube off of the fucking vacuum cleaner.
Yeah,
This is how I know sometimes.
Talk it out, people.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're almost there.
I was gonna say this is how you know sometimes there's not a generational gap, because JR is sharing the same stories as the rest of us. We're just like, he's an old motherfucker. Like, he could have easily been our dad, and we're just like, yeah, we all got the same shit. Fucking one generation to the next.
So,
anyways, apparently, fuck it.
Pro wrestling,
And now we're all into wrestling now. So what does that say?
What does that say?
You can't hurt me
Kayfabe
more
those
than my
beatings,
fucking parents
baby.
did.
Can't kayfabe those ass.
I think, you know what? Now that I think about it,
That was
talking about,
real.
like, the vacuum cleaner and the wooden spoons. One of the other things that fans always ask is, like, what are the chairs made out of?
Oh yeah.
Like what is it?
A
They
chair.
think it's gimmicked.
Okay,
made out of
tell you what,
chair.
guys, if you want to know what a chair's made of, here's how you know. The first Madhouse show, literally, Tommy and I bought 4 or 5 of them at Walmart.
Yeah, you went and bought chairs.
We
So,
did. We ran
They're
back into
straight
fucking-
off the shelf at Walmart, guys.
It's
Like,
made
they're
out
real.
of chair material, people.
It's
That's
straight
what-
steel, baby.
They don't believe it. That's the crazy thing, because like if they're, what would you call it? Because they're not like even casual fans. They're just
No.
people that are just like, oh, here's an event that I can take my family to for
Yeah.
$30. Casey,
Yeah.
oh Jesus Christ, Malice.
Oh no.
But like,
Crazy. Oh man.
but people will ask, they're like, is Tom gonna die? Is he gonna die?
Yeah, he's gonna die.
Oh my
I don't
God.
even know what that
Oh,
how you
God.
do that.
Malice, you son of a bitch.
So one
This
of
is
the
why you
things
should have been
that-
on here yourself, you motherfucker.
One of the things that someone that I know who came to the first show asked, like at intermission, like, so is the spring in the middle of the ring? And I was like, is the what?
No, but this is
The
good though,
spring,
because
spring.
like
I'm
these
like,
are like the
"There's no
things
spring."
that people ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, these are like who people who don't watch wrestling. It's like I would get that all the time where it's like, it's fake, right? I'm like, yeah, I know. And then like, well, but like when they go through the table, it's like already cut, right?
That's,
Like
the
it's
dumbest
just,
thing
it's
I've
a
ever
breakaway, right?
people
Like
say.
well, they're not really like getting. I mean, they know how to fall on the floor though. Like they're not really getting it. It's like, dude, but
They
just fall on the
know
floor on your back.
How
Like
to fall on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen, the only thing I've ever seen with like a table, a folding table, right? Especially the particle board ones, they'll take the sides. There's always like a metal,
You
like
take the
kind of
metal
ring
off.
around it.
That's it.
They'll take that off because
It'll
because it
cut
breaks
you.
easier, but because they don't want anybody to get fucking hurt on a metal fucking piece and
Wasn't
break
that
their
Benoit?
fucking back.
It'll cut them. It'll cut you
Yeah,
down.
cut,
Remember
or
that
like it'll
thing?
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't give that easy. So
But someone asked me after the first show, because Manders, you saw that the barbed wire door.
mhm.
That barbed wire just came straight from Amazon. Like, and so here's as much as I knew about
Oh,
the barbed
that's
wire.
real.
Well, so here's how much I
Play
knew about the
stupid
barbed wire.
games so you win stupid prizes. Like, I'm sorry you got injured, but like, come on now. Who grabs barbed wire to see if it's real? Like,
And that's
it's
the fucking thing.
okay. Ask a question first.
Yeah.
So I go to the back during the show. I want to say it was at intermission, maybe or maybe I was going back because you remember, like, Jimmy tore his ACL.
Ooh.
That show, like getting into the ring.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we had to quickly take him back. Which my wife, she's a PA, and so she was like doing the door and doing some merch and stuff like that. And she told me, she's like, I am not working tonight. If anyone gets hurt, don't asked me. Of course, Jimmy tears it. Hey, hon. Anyway, so I go back there and I go back to check on Jimmy, and there in like the hallway is Manders with a door, a roll of barbed wire, and a staple gun.
Yeah.
And he's just like, cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. I'm like, hey, Steve, what's going on? Main event time. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. Okay. All right. That was it. And that's as much as I knew about that shit. I
It's
just tried to
realer than you realize, people. If you're watching this, I'm sure you know. But for those of you who are tuning in for fun or you're just figuring it out, it is realer than you think. Like, that's what I will tell you. When someone tells me wrestling is fake, like, you know it's fake, right? I'm like, you think people are getting murdered on CSI, you idiot? Like,
Ice-T really is a cop, guys. He really is.
It's a television show, all right? Yes.
Game of Thrones is a historical documentary.
Yeah, like, come on now. Like, but it's realer than, like, The Matrix. Like,
right.
These people are if these people could do this stuff as convincingly they're doing it and have no injury whatsoever, they'd be running the military. They're invincible. Like, do you see some of the stuff these people do?
So I bring up a lot of times, like, so we saw Christopher Daniels at one of the first shows, one of the WrestlePaloozas. I think it was the same one you were on. And his eye is still messed up from that fucking Young Bucks versus him and Kazarian match. Like, and it's not going away, man. Like, that blood is still circling in his eye. It's still grotesque, if you will. Like, that shit's not fake, like, man. Like, he's not putting a contact lens and making his rest of his eye look red.
No,
I mean, it's a real thing. And
put some respect on these people's names. They're actually doing some real hardcore athletic competition.
Yes.
Stop pretend. You don't say gymnastics is fake, you dummy. Like,
absolutely,
dummy.
You.
So
fuck you. Those flips aren't real. Fuck you.
One of the cool things that we did, show one, is we had two photographers, Clint and Watson, who, I mean, if you guys go to WrestlePalooza shows, he's
Brainbuster, baby.
Big he's got just all tatted up, big beard, you know, most of the time and everything.
Doing a lot of AEW stuff too.
Does a lot of AEW stuff right now. Yeah, he's like he's got the Hook book, it's all Hook, and he's done a bunch of stuff with Kingston. Just, I mean, you name it, he's done it. He's been there, you know, and is a good buddy of mine. And we had him and we had Clint. And one of my favorite things that they did, and Clint was doing most of the in-ring stuff, and Watson was kind of doing a lot of the behind the scenes. But you can see this on Facebook. Is Watson was taking a lot of stuff post-match, and so you got to see immediately after, like, you would see the bruises on Max and Gable's backs from the kendo stick shots that, like, Justin and Malice were giving them, and you would see AJ, like, he just all beat to shit.
Yeah.
But he had the title belt over him. I mean, he had bruises and blood, and Manders is the same way. I mean, it's unreal what these guys do for as little as they do it. Like there's more glory than dollars.
Yeah.
In this. You know, you
gotta
do
love
it because you're trying to make a career of it and you love it, or you're doing it because it's just what you want to do right now. Like, this is what I do on the weekend, and I'm doing it to entertain them, and I love it. Like, there's not a lot in between. The people who make it the upper echelon, it's what, 1% of 1%. So
very real.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and thank God I'm a fan, but I could not imagine some of the shit that everybody's gone through, man.
100%.
And I've been there for a lot of it.
Well, shit, we almost saw, was it Bandito die at Flair's last match? He almost died. I mean, Flair almost died, but
dude, Flair looked rough, bro. Flair looked
barely
rough.
Saved his life.
Looked rough after that match, man.
You're talking about Ric Flair?
Yeah,
so
his
at
last
Flair's
match.
last match, I mean, that was the pay-per-view or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
The Lucha match. The four-way, and Bandito did, I think it was just a suicida. And he like, his legs caught the ropes and he about went head first. I mean, he was supposed to have gotten grabbed in a powerbomb position, but his legs got caught and he was inches away from taking a header.
Yeah.
And Black Taurus just, like, saved his neck.
I mean, look at Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match, I'm pretty sure that Lesnar just dropped Jimmy Uso on his goddamn head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching that going like,
Yeah.
yo.
Like, trying to kill that man.
I was like, he could like I flashes of Big E like flashed across my head. I was
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
yo, like, are you kidding
man.
me, guys?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even going back to like that ROH match, FTR versus the Briscoes, man, where Dax got it right on the fucking head, man. Like, I mean, he's dealing with a stinger right now, is what he's saying, but like, damn, dude, that got fucking gnarly.
All right, boys. We're about getting to that time. So, real quick, we want to thank Nur-D. We want to thank Luke Raven and Madhouse. Again, August 6th. That's this Saturday. Get your tickets. Where can they get them?
You can get them on our Big Cartel site, madhousewrestling.bigcartel.com, or you can email us, madhousewrestling641@gmail.com. We can set up a way to get you tickets there.
There
Front
you
row
go.
sold out. GA's
Front row
available.
sold out. You guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show. Always a pleasure for me to get a microphone in my hand and get to have some fun with my friends. So we're going to have a lot of fun Saturday. So make sure you join us for that. Tommy, you're pointing. What do you want?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, in Nur-D, obviously, you got your show coming out the 19th.
Yes, August 19th, First Avenue main room. Check the link out on all of my socials. That's at Nur-D Rocks, N-U-R-D Rocks, like multiple Dwayne Johnsons. It's really easy to find. And just like rock with your boy.
Yes, do it, guys. Get tickets to that show, First Avenue, the 19th of August, Friday night. Get tickets. The live like listening to your music is one thing, and that's what I do a lot right now when I'm in my car. But seeing you guys do it live is just amazing. Even if it's just you and Hayes, because shout out to DJ Hayes and just being a monster on those turntables, scratching.
On the ones and
Oh
twos,
my
there
gosh!
is nobody better.
I mean, I got two guys in the cities that I am like. Hayes and D-Mill, those are my boys right there. Like, those guys, there's no better DJs.
D-Mill was the mechanical engineer for this record, by the way. I recorded it all in his studio, so you know it's something. It's a beautiful thing, baby. It's a beautiful thing.
D-Mill, shout out, bro. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait for the new music. Get your tickets, guys. I'm gonna be hanging out down there that night. I'm bringing Nur-D and Hayes some 2-count shirts with me to that show. But if you guys, and we'll be on the show next week, so you'll hear us talk about it. But that very next night, next week, we will be at that Dynamite show at the Target Center. So if you see any of us 2-count fellows walking around, feel free to say hello. We're jacked up. We're gonna spend some time with our homie. And have you been to a live AEW show?
I have yet to be to a live AEW show. It will be my first time. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see the Rebel promotion in all their glory. You know what I mean? I'm looking to see.
You're gonna have fun. It's a good time. It's a good time being there live for these shows. So
I'm very excited.
I can't
Jason
wait.
and I will be down at Madhouse on Saturday. Tom, where are you going to be Saturday?
I will be in Rockville with the Steel Toe Morning Show anniversary show at Stoney's Bar and Grill.
Boo.
Those of you in that St. Cloud area, get over to Stoney's and hang out with Tom and the guys from.
That's the top shelf place to be.
Yes, indeed.
Nur-D, my man. Oh, dude, I love it. See, that's the thing. When I don't have to promote myself, I love it. So thank you so much, Nur-D, man. And I will always promote Nur-D, and I will always promote
Game
Madhouse.
recognized game, people.
Well, yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Tuesday
Thanks
night.
to all of you in the
Next
chat.
week.
Thanks for all your cheers, your comments, everything. We'll be back next week. Do we have somebody next week?
Next week will be us as we get ready to talk about going to Dynamite. The week after that, the week after that, our good friend Jordan Max coming back. She's going to be at Dynamite too, so she's going to get on there and talk about it. We got some first wrestling shows that we're going to that week as well. That's right. So we got a lot of wrestling to talk about coming up.
Perfect. Thank you again, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.